Hi, Miss Barbara here for 5.6 Part 2 of Algebra 2, finding the discriminant. So the discriminant is this formula of b squared minus 4ac. You might recognize that as what was underneath the square root when we were doing quadratic formula yesterday. The discriminant tells the number of roots of a quadratic equation. So your three options are you can either have two real solutions, one real solution, or two complex solutions. So for all of these problems, you're going to calculate b squared minus 4ac. And based off of that answer, you'll know the number and type of solutions. So my first option is that b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, meaning that you're going to be getting a positive discriminant. If you're getting a positive discriminant, that means you have two real solutions, because you're taking the square root of a positive number, which is going to give you two real numbers. So that means I have to cross the x-axis 2 times. So it could be upward facing and cross the x-axis 2 times. It could also be downward facing and cross the x-axis 2 times. But either way, you're going to be crossing the x-axis 2 times if your discriminant is positive. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, that means you're going to be taking the square root of 0, which is 0. So you're only going to get one real solution. The only way to get one real solution is when you graph it, that your vertex is on the x-axis. So it could be upward facing. It could also be downward facing. I'll just draw it here on the left. But your vertex is on the x-axis. So we now have the positive, 0. So the last one is what if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, meaning it's negative. That means you're going to be taking the square root of a negative number. So that's two complex solutions, or two imaginary solutions, meaning no real solutions. Because there are no real, you cannot cross the x-axis. So you might have something that looks like this, where you have your quadratic parabola above the x-axis. It could also be below the x-axis, but no time ever will it cross the x-axis. So that's all you do is calculate b squared minus 4ac, follow the chart to figure out what type of solution you have. So example 2a, we can label a, b, and c. So a is 1, b is 2 in front of x, c is 3. So b squared minus 4ac, setting it up just like we did in the quadratic. I'm going to substitute in 2, and then 1, and then 3. 4 minus 12 is going to give me negative 8 as my answer. That's a negative discriminant, so this is two complex solutions. You don't need to find them. To do that, you would have to use quadratic formula. All we need to know is that it's two complex solutions. So letter B, we're going to do the same thing. You can say A equals negative 1, B equals 3, and C equals 4. Setting it up, just like we did with quadratic, it's going to be 3 squared minus 4ac. 3 squared is going to be 9. Minus 4 times negative 1 will be plus 16. So 9 plus 16 is going to be 25. That's a positive number, so I'm going to have two real solutions. Let's try one more. So let's try letter C. Hopefully letter C, you recognize that I have an issue. This is not set equal to 0. So just like with the quadratic formula or any other, we have to add 2x to both sides to get it set equal to 0. Once we do that, we're going to get x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. So A is 1, B is negative 4, and C is 4. Substitute that in for the discriminant. It's going to be negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. A negative 4 quantity squared is 16, and it's going to be minus 16. So you get an answer of 0. That means I have one real solution. I'm crossing the x-axis one time. So you can stop the video and try letter D to figure out, to make sure that you are good with how to find the discriminant and what that answer means for the quadratic formula. That's it for lesson 5.6.